Good morning or evening or night, wherever you are at. I want to encourage you today to take a second to look back and review. When I was doing some landscaping this summer, I did a project that took me a good 25 hours over a few days. And I remember I had an employee with me at the time, and we got done, we packed up, and we just drove away. But as I was driving away, I just realized I never even took a second to look at the landscaping. When I had arrived, it was all overgrown and it was rock beds, but it had tons of, um, yeah, it just had tons of weeds all throughout it, and the trees and bushes were overgrown. And so, without telling my employee, I just kind of turned around and went back to the um the house, and he's like, "What are we doing?" I'm like, "I realized I never even took a second to look back at it." And so we went back and I just sat in my car and looked at the landscaping. It was beautiful and all new plants, and the weeds were all gone and it looked great. Isn't that a metaphor for our days? That I'm trying to help you get all those weeds out of all the communication and all the stuff that we let in. And all my teaching hopefully is helping you create a day that looks a lot like that beautiful landscaping. But we should, and I'm talking to myself with this one, Robert, I'm looking at you, where we need to just take even a moment each day. Um, or I'm encouraging you to take a moment at the end of the day and just look back at what you've done and figure out just, hey, I got through all these emails and chats. If you do what I teach, I got one real thing done today. I organized my list. I engaged with people. I care about people. I moved things forward. What did you move forward? And just taking that moment to think about what you've done and that it's good. Um, I love how in the creation account in the Bible, God does this. Not every day, funny enough, but most days, especially once there's plant life and life in general, he is done with a day. Like, say, he creates all the plants uh, on the earth, and it says uh, he looks and he saw that it was good, and there was evening and there was morning, the fourth day or whatever. So he's looking, he's seeing that it's good. And I think if your day was just horrible, maybe it's not good. But even on horrible days, I've come to realize as I've grown in maturity that those days were needed to get to the next day. So, for example, if something goes horribly wrong with a task that I'm trying to do, um, that would have happened probably anyways. And so at least I made the progress towards the result I need today, even if I didn't get that result today. So we got to just look back and see what did we accomplish, and just take that moment to thank God for being able to do that and have that sense of a job well done. Because another piece of scripture is that one of the best things in life, besides just eating and drinking, is toiling with our hands and enjoying that toil. And so if we look back, it helps us to enjoy that, to appreciate that. And for some of us, it might mean that it's actually not the way our life we wanted it to go. Maybe it's literally that moment that we let into our mind where we see that this isn't the life that we wanted to build and that something needs to start to change. Or maybe it's just an encouragement to keep going and keep doing it. You're doing a great job. All right. I think that's all that I have for us today. So just set, instead of leaving right at the, instead of pushing your work up until the very last moment, give yourself 5 extra minutes where you can kind of pack up and be mindful and thoughtful about just what you did today, and just take that moment. All right. We'll see you in another episode.